Before anyone asks, and I'd be damn surprised if they would have noticed anyway, yes, I finally have moved a couple of these masks around because I got a new one. So to whoever it was who thought that it was some kind of conspiracy about 2 years ago, congratulations, your paranoid delusion has been fulfilled forever. Stop by any time to get your complimentary tinfoil hat, and 9/11 was an inside job bumper sticker. Hey Jay, said nobody ever, because who do I talk to? You like movies so much, how come you never talk about how many you've seen or who you watch them with? Well, here's why. Voice in my head, because again, nobody here. I'm very picky about who I spend my time with when it comes to watching movies, because a lot of people like to try and shatter my dreams with phrases like, oh, that CG is very unconvincing, or this is poorly written because nobody in real life would ever do that. Undoubtedly in your group of friends there's at least one person who makes it really difficult to enjoy a good time with them because they insist on constantly comparing what's on screen to real life as if they're equal. And you can't call them out on it at the time because that's a petty argument and sometimes you gotta choose your battles. But I choose every battle. So this one-way conversation is for that horrible person. They should have done this in movies is a stupid argument against character decisions, because more often than not, if they hadn't done what they did, then there wouldn't be a movie at all. What fundamental concept of basic storytelling did you miss being taught in grade school? Did you have polio for half of your childhood? If somebody's argument for why a film is bad is because that would never happen, and they end up dead without teeth as a result, that's their own fault for trying to compare a fictional story to reality and making me so angry that I just had to murder them in a forest and take steps to ensure that they could never be identified by their dental records alone. People who complain about computer graphics in such a way that it makes it seem like the entire movie's quality hinges on those one or two scenes really make me want to devour organs, because more often than not, those special effects are essential to telling an interesting or creative story. The fact that they're poor is just an unfortunate byproduct of trying to stop 5-second attention spans from wandering away from the action to things like the size of a duck's wiener in relation to the rest of its body. I bet people who say this movie was really good until they brought the Titans out and the CG was so bad are the same kinds of individuals who would be surprised if they got fired from Subway because they tried to make a sandwich with their dick. Yeah, man, my job at the driving range was awesome until I tried firing golf balls out of a potato cannon at customers and I got shit canned for no reason. If someone can't lower their expectations to a manageable level for fiction, then they're destined to basically attempt suicide at the mere hint of letdown in real life. Yeah, hang on a second, I'm just gonna check the food that I microwaved. Oh, it's still cold. Well, where did I put the shotgun? Imagine trying to dump someone and they say, man, this relationship was really great until you brought out such an unconvincing breakup. I never would have tried to break my heart like this. I think the term armchair critic was invented because there are people who exist who throw a tantrum the very second something on screen doesn't happen the way that they had concocted it in their head. And so they say something like, it should have happened this way, which is dumb because now there's nothing to watch. What you're watching was written that way for a reason, and that reason is to continue to tell a compelling story. In fairy tales, nobody lives happily ever after until somebody kills a monster, or puts a shoe on a foot, or molests a teenager who's been in a coma for centuries. Otherwise the story goes, two people liked each other and it was totally rad and nothing sucked. And that's not a movie, that's not even a good tweet. And don't compare movies to each other as if they all should be held to the same standard just by virtue of being created on the same medium. People who go to college football games don't expect NFL quality gameplay, so why is it that your friends get away with putting less reputable films up against masterpieces as if they're even in the same league? You never hear a parent compare their gross baby to somebody else's gross baby because that gross baby's gross baby feces happens to look like less of a train wreck, because people who have kids somehow find joy in the process despite its faults. So why does everybody feel the need to weigh the quality of a film against better ones when they were made under totally different circumstances? The fuck was that? So the next time the guy being chased by the killer turns the wrong way and falls into a pit of poisonous spikes because for some reason this killer loves to overdo it so bad and was also trained by the Viet Cong, think about the alternative before you decide to bitch about how brainless that decision was. Because without that stupidity, the victim escapes. He probably grabs a beer, calls the cops, and then hires an expensive escort with the prize money that he was awarded for helping to apprehend a criminal. And that's not a movie, that's just a filthy porno. I just wrote a pornographic film with more solid storytelling than anything I've ever heard of. That's a joke. I think I found my calling. Also, if you don't like Paranormal Activity, you can fuck right off. There, I said it.